Okay, so we'll go ahead and start. If others join in, that's fine. As I was saying just a few minutes ago, if it's a possibility for you to find a tennis ball in your home or a ball of any kind that's about the size of a tennis ball, a pinky ball, even a racquetball ball will work. It's a little smaller, but that will work. I have a part of it's not really a pose, but an activity that involves a tennis ball. That would be great. If not, that's okay too. Hopefully you do, and you can follow along with that. If not, you can kind of go through the movements and get the idea and then watch the recording with a ball. If you have a yoga strap, I think I suggested that in the beginning, or a towel or like a pillowcase, anything that you can use to be able to strap or hold, that would be great. That's also very valuable in this approach. So I do want to share, just as we start as fellow OTs, a little bit about this approach. Not a lot, but just to explain, because I think it's valuable to know that this exists. I should probably introduce myself because I know you know who I am, I think, but my name is Beverly, or I go by Bev Menninger. I'm actually just recently, well, gosh, it's probably been a year ago, finished my 200-hour yoga teacher training. So I did become a yoga teacher, mostly because I'll tell you where it came from was I was working with students who were very excited about yoga, wanting to incorporate it, because I work at North Central College, wanting to incorporate it into what they did with clients. And I just felt very strongly that if you want to use, quote, yoga, you should study yoga. That's not required. As you probably all know, you don't even have to just even teach yoga. You don't even have to study. But I think it's a really valuable thing to get the training, to understand the philosophy behind it, to also, especially for safety's sake, understand the precautions, the forms or poses that you don't want to do with certain populations, et cetera. So I chose to I said to myself years ago when I did yoga, I wouldn't become a yoga teacher. Now here I am. So I do not teach it regularly, but I do like the background that I learned, the philosophy I learned, and then things like this where I at least have had the experience of teaching yoga and learning about sequencing and being able to share that. So anyway, what I'm doing is pulling from an approach that's called sensory enhanced yoga. This was developed by an occupational therapist, Lynn Stoller. She has a book specifically written about this. She was an author of an article, I think a co-author of an article utilizing sensory enhanced yoga with combat soldiers and veterans, as well as others who had survived trauma or had traumatic experiences. So it really hones in on working with people who have experienced some form of trauma. Now, the reality is many of us have had some level of trauma. They did find such effectiveness, though, using this with people who dissociate, or have sort of an out-of-body experience. This really helps bring you back into your body, which yoga does. Some of the techniques in this, though, really add to that. So it's based on theory, theoretical constructs. It's trauma sensitive, evidence informed. There's research behind it. She designed it for people to help reduce stress before they become emotionally dysregulated, develop emotional resilience, decrease hypervigilance and overreaction to sensory input, increase sleep and energy levels, decrease the intrusive thinking, a variety of things that they found that this approach was effective. A few of the things that are very interesting about it, and all yoga should be incorporating breath, so breath work. But what I found to be most intriguing was the use of language in yoga. People have a hard time even with the word yoga, but if you think about in yoga, we talk about poses and postures. Within sensory enhanced yoga, they're referred to as forms because the terms pose and posture can be very triggering to someone who especially has experienced something like sexual abuse or sex trafficking. Same with referring let me think, there was another word, it'll come to me. But the forms was the main thing. Strap, that was it. The yoga strap, they refer to it as a yoga band. And for a while it was like, why are you doing that? And then I realized that again can be associated with traumatic experiences. So you will find as we go through this sequence that we use the strap, and there's a lot of really strong proprioceptive input that's really helping people sense their body, be in their body, and that's a lot of what we want to do when people have experienced trauma. So that's just a little explanation of where this comes from. I would really encourage you to just explore it. She has also started training in a program called SMILE. Yes, and I knew I was going to forget the acronym, even though I've taken the training. It's sensory and mindfulness-based yoga for learning environments. Sensory and mindfulness-based yoga for learning environments. So it's the sensory enhanced yoga for children, basically, in schools. So teachers and OTs are starting to incorporate it more with kids in schools. So there you go. All right, so what I'd like to do is ask you to take a seat, if you probably are already seated, and have your sit bones kind of on the edge of the seat, so you're not leaning back in a chair. Your feet are firmly planted on the ground, so you want to make sure your feet are touching the ground. And just kind of find yourself a comfortable position. Throughout all of this, listen to your body, make adjustments if you need to stop. It is very gentle what we're going to be doing, so it shouldn't be a problem. But if anything is too much, just adjust it to what makes you comfortable. That's what's most important. Just kind of find your breath. And begin by sensing your surroundings. If you want to have your eyes closed, that's absolutely fine, but not required. If not closed, a nice soft gaze. Sense the room around you. Are there any sounds? Without resisting those sounds, just observe them. Notice the surface that's supporting your weight, that's supporting your body on the chair, the points of contact with the chair, any tactile sensations throughout your body. Then take some time to turn your awareness inward and scan your body, starting with your feet, slowly working your way up, noticing what sensations are present in your feet, legs, your thighs into your hips, your seat, your lower, middle, and upper back. Just notice the sensations in your abdomen. Maybe even sensing your internal organs. Moving up to your heart center, the area inside of your ribs. Scan your arms, noticing sensations in your palms. Scanning from your hands all the way through your arms up into your shoulders. Moving into your neck and throat area. Just notice what's present right now as we begin this practice. Your face, jaw, eyes, forehead and scalp. And even after a day, maybe at work, maybe around the house, what are the thoughts going through your head? What messages are you receiving from your body and your mind? And maybe using that information, develop an intention for the practice tonight. Maybe you want to feel more calm or a sense of peace, become more flexible or strong, maybe reduce some tension, maybe even gain some mental clarity. What brings you to this class tonight? You made the decision to spend almost an hour with us, and that's a wonderful decision for yourself. Now notice the body breathing without controlling it in any way. Just simply be aware of the movement of the air in and out of your body. As we OTs know, and actually is becoming much more popular, the sense of interoception. Notice the quality of your breath too. Is it slow? Is it deep? Is it relaxed? Is it short, shallow, or constricted? Just notice the quality. No need to change it. What you may want to do is place one hand on your belly, maybe even one hand on your chest, and as you breathe, sense where you're feeling that breath. Are you breathing down into your belly so your hand rises and falls, expands, and then moves back toward your spine? Or do you feel it more up in your chest? Do you feel your chest rise and fall? And gradually take that breath deeper into your belly. Expand that belly out so your hand moves forward through your nose, and exhale again through your nose, taking your belly back toward your spine. As you inhale, expanding your belly, maybe a hold at the bottom, and then an exhale, keeping that spine nice and tall and taking that belly back toward your spine. Keep that deeper breath going for a few minutes. Slow, maybe to a count. Your comfort level, maybe a count of 2 or 3 breaths, or 2 to 3 counts in, hold, and more counts out. So can you exhale to a count of 4 or 5? One of the best ways as we're dealing with stress throughout the day to calm and center again is to breathe. We all breathe, but to take the time to lengthen that breath, slow that breath, bring yourself back into your body, press your feet into the ground, sense where you are in space and that you're on the earth. It's when our minds start reeling out of control and we're all in our head that stress just takes over and causes other physical discomfort. Just come back to your breath. And many of you who practice yoga know this. Always a good reminder, though. On your next exhale, just gently return to your regular breath, not paying any extra attention to it being necessarily deeper. If you've had your eyes closed, you can certainly open them. And we're going to start with what we call the sun breath. So you're going to bring your hands down to the sides. Feet are solid on the ground. Feel your seat on the chair. Spine nice and tall, shoulders away from your ears. Imagine like a cord pulling up through your head up to the ceiling and just holding you nice and tall. And throughout all of these, don't forget your breath. It doesn't have to be special, but just pay attention to it. We're going to bring those arms up and breathe in, or inhale and exhale coming down. Nice and slow and rhythmic. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale. Reach up toward the ceiling, maybe stretch one side and the other. Feel the size of your body. And exhale down. Just pause for a minute and feel. What are the sensations going on now? All right, hands back to the sides again. We're gonna bring our hands up. If you can, grasp your hands. If not, you don't have to. They can be just straight up, whatever's comfortable. Again, I'm kind of bringing my shoulders up, bring those shoulders down. And I'm gonna bend to my right. You go to your right, and I'm not good at mirroring in the computer or then the phone. So you're gonna take a breath in, exhale over to the side. You don't have to go really far. Just change that position. Feel your seat solid on the chair. Inhale up. Exhale to the other side. Feel that side body stretch all the way up your arm. Inhale back up. Exhale back over to the other side. You may go a little farther, but that's not the point. Inhale back up. Exhale. Inhale. Feel those both sides of your body stretching upward. Exhale to the right or the whichever side you're on, and feel that side body stretch all the way out. Back up straight. One more time to the other side. Inhale, and arms back down to the side, maybe resting on your lap. And again, take a moment and feel the change in sensation. I can feel like tingling and blood flow in the sides of my body as I spend most of my day sitting at a desk in front of a computer. It's so helpful to get everything moving like this. All right, so now we're going to bring knee to chest. Now, obviously when you're lying on the mat, that's probably a little bit easier. Here in the chair, there are a number of ways to do it. You do what's comfortable for you. You can just lift your knee up if you want. That's absolutely fine. Or you can take your hands and clasp around your knee, but what I don't want you to do is lean way back. You want to stay nice and tall and bring that knee up toward your chest. Give that abdomen a little bit of a massage. Inhaling and exhaling down, pressing that foot into the ground. Again, it might be just lifting that knee up. Inhaling, exhaling down. Back to the other side, inhaling, massage that belly. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. One more time on each side. Good. All right, so if you have a strap or a band, to be sensitive, a towel, anything that hopefully you can hold out at ultimately at shoulder's length. But what we're going to do right now is loop it around your foot. So hopefully it's long enough. You might, hopefully, I'm hoping. So loop it under, I have mine under the left foot, whichever foot is fine. Again, nice tall posture, mountain pose in a seated position. Mountain form. With that strap under your foot, you're going to bring that foot forward. Now, it might just be down near the ground. That's absolutely fine. Again, you're moving, you're changing, you're stretching. It could be way up here. It's all up to you. Again, you don't want to be straining, but you want to feel a bit of a stretch. Press into your heel, toes back towards you. And you should be inhaling as you lift up and exhaling as you come back down. Press that foot into the ground again, feeling the sense of your body on earth. Let's do that again. So you're going to bring that leg forward. You might go a little higher, but again, you're absolutely fine if you're down here near the ground. There's no right or wrong here. And back to the ground. One more time on this side. Stretch that leg out. Again, staying nice and tall, shoulders down. Remember to breathe. Feel the stretch in the back of your leg. And back to the floor. Okay, we're going to switch. So it'll be the other side. Loop it under your foot. And inhale up. Inhale, stretch that foot. Again, you can be low. Through the heel. And down, press into the floor. Extend out. Press through your heel. Bring those toes back toward your body. And down. Press into the floor. One more, up. And to the floor. Good. Now without the whatever you have to aid your leg, we're going to put or send our, let me start with your left foot if you want, send your left leg out probably low. If some of you are more comfortable with a high, great, but it really can just be low because what I want you to start with is flexing and extending your ankle. So just point your toe and then bring your toes back toward your body. Point, point, and back, point, and back, and then rotate that ankle. So you're going to rotate it one way and then the other way. Good. And our other side, extend that leg out. You're going to point your toes, bring those toes back toward your body. Point and flex. And then rotate that ankle. Excellent. All right, back to that seated position. All right, now, let's see, let's bring your arms up, all the way up to the ceiling. And then a gentle twist with your one hand on your opposite knee and the other hand back to the chair. I have my left hand on my right knee, right hand on the chair. A gentle twist. There's no need to push this farther than your body can go. But you want to twist through your spine, your neck, your head, and your eyes. So also take your eyes, so you're working on that visual or that eye range of motion. And back to center. Hands up overhead, arms up overhead. Inhale, exhale into that twist the other direction. So I have my right hand on my left knee, my left hand on the chair, a nice tall spine, twisting all the way through your eyes. And back to center. Arms up. Inhale, exhale, twist. All the way around. Back to center. Inhale up. Exhale around. Eyes as far as they can go. And back. Beautiful. All right, nice and tall. We're going to do what some of you have experienced in class if you take yoga, the cat-cow in a seated position. So you can rest your hands on your thighs if you want. You can probably hang under the chair as well. I usually keep my hands on my thighs. Feet are firmly planted on the ground. Again, feeling the earth. You're going to inhale and arch that back, looking up toward the ceiling. Really stretch all the way through your neck. And exhale, rounding your back with your chin to your chest. Really feeling that stretch in your back body, down your arms. Inhale up into what we consider cow usually. And at your own pace, exhaling into cat. Take that flow for a few more rounds on your own. On your next inhale, come back to center. Good. All right, what I want to try and fit in here, I wish I could say, how's everybody doing? Hopefully everyone's okay. I see little white figures. Okay, so we are going. I'm sliding in a little bit of somatic yoga in here because I just absolutely love this exercise, and I feel it, or whatever you want to refer to it as. I feel it when I start that cow, and I feel my neck because I have my own neck issues. But so what I want you to do, and I'll explain a little bit afterwards. Hopefully you'll feel it. Is I want you to sit nice and tall, hands resting on your lap, and take your neck back into the range of motion that you can go. And my ceiling is blank, but if you can kind of get a sense of a target or about where your eyes land on your ceiling and get a feel for what your range of motion is, how your neck feels, and where you're looking at the ceiling as a reference. And then come back. We're going to start with the right foot. I want you to take that right foot and slide it forward with the sole on the ground. Then lift your toes up so your heel is on the ground. Curl your toes. Take your foot back down to the ground, slide it back. Press into the ball of your foot and lift your toes. Extend that leg out. Lift your toes, heel on the ground, curl your toes, foot to the ground, slide it back, press the ball into the floor, lift your toes. 2 more times. Extend that leg, toes up, heel down, curl toes, foot down, slide back, ball of the foot, toes up. 1 more time. Slide forward, heel, curl toes, foot down, slide back, ball of your foot presses down, toes come up. All right, back in a neutral position, nice tall spine, and try that range of motion again and see if anything has changed. It doesn't change for everyone, but it does for some of us. And it blows me away every time. This is one piece I'd like to revisit at the end to see if anybody felt a difference. We're going to the left foot. Same thing. Extend that leg out. Toes up, heel down. Curl your toes. Flatten your foot. Slide it back. Press the ball of your foot down and toes up. Extend forward. Toes up. Curl toes. Foot down. Back. Press the ball down, toes up. 2 more. Extend. Heel. Curl your toes. Down. Slide back. Press down, toes up. 1 more. Extend. Heel. Curl your toes. Foot down. Slide. Follow your feet down. The foot. toes up. Relax in the center and test out that range of motion again. Oh man. I don't know about you guys. I can go farther back and my neck feels better. It's the most amazing thing that teaches me that everything is connected and how important it is to work the fascia system, basically. So hopefully you experienced something. I would love to hear at the end if you did. All right, so let's grab your whatever you choose to call it, band. All right. First thing I want you to do though is take your arms, raise them up above your head like this, and feel what that feels like, and then bring them down. Now, take a hold of your strap, just a little or band or whatever, towel, blanket, a little more than shoulders distance apart, and do the same thing. Kind of keep some tension on it, bring it up overhead, and back down. Do you feel that difference? This is one of the pieces that was most impressive to me in using the sensory enhanced, is this input that tells you where your body is. So you're going to inhale up, feel those arms, feel those hands. You can feel down into your shoulders all the way to your seat, and exhale down. Inhale up and exhale. Up and down. And just relax here for a minute, kind of loosen the band. You might want to roll your shoulders a little bit, but feel the sensations in your body. Imagine someone who maybe is so out of their body due to trauma, and they do something like this, and don't you feel your body? I mean, it's amazing to me. And yoga does that. Many of the poses, forms that we do in yoga, you get that input, and it's so valuable for all of us. All right. Same thing. This time you're going to bring your arms up. You're going to inhale and exhale into a side bend. Again, it doesn't have to be drastic. Inhale back up. Here comes a cat. Exhale to the other side. Inhale. Keep those shoulders away from your ears. Other side. Inhale. Exhale. Now, if you feel like you can go one more, let's do it. But if you can't, just drop your arms down and rest. This is all for you, nobody else. Inhale, exhale. Up and relax those arms down. Just pause and again, feel the sensations in your body. Where do you feel it? Where's your breath? Can you feel your heart beating? Mine's going a little faster. But it's interesting to stop and see, can you sense your heart beating? Okay. All right. Now, same thing. Take that strap with some tension. Arms right out in front of you. Again, shoulders away from your ears. Nice tall spine, solid feet. You're going to inhale and exhale with a twist again. Nothing drastic. Inhale back to center and make it a flow. Exhale to the other side. Try not to run into the canopy. Inhale, center, exhale. Wring that body out. Movement in your spine that maybe you haven't done all day long. Round. One more time. One more time to the other side. And back to the middle. Good, and rest. Okay, so now you're gonna take your strap or your whatever band, and let's see, let's put it in the right hand. You're gonna drape it back behind you, arm straight up. You're gonna bring your left hand. Now, let me stop here. If you have any kind of shoulder issues, hopefully you know, probably stay away from this one. If you don't, you can do it bigger. You know, you can just bring your hands, you know, like on top of your head and back on your back just to get the position. But if you have any kind of shoulder issues, I would probably stay away from this one. You're going to take it. The right hand is up, the left hand is grabbing onto it behind you, and you're going to bring that right hand down behind and try and create your hands together. They don't have to touch. That elbow's pointing straight up toward the ceiling if you can. You can do any variety. It can be anywhere, okay? I know everybody's shoulders are different, so straight up toward the ceiling, feel that stretch on the back of your right arm, your tricep. Trying to maintain as straight a spine as you can. And inhale and exhale in this position for a minute. So opens your chest, allows those ribs to expand more, and also stretches that arm. When you need to, let go and just relax. And then feel the difference between the two arms. You're going to take the band in your left hand, again, drape it back behind you. Grab onto the strap with your right hand, and then bend that elbow, the left elbow, and kind of crawl up the strap with your right hand so that your elbow's next to your forearm or your upper arm, next to your head, elbow toward the ceiling to the best of your ability. Again, stay with whatever limits you have, just work within those. And again, feel that open chest and the stretch to the back of your left arm. Are you breathing? All right, and then relax that down and take a minute to feel that arm, or both arms actually. All right, so even while we're working in a chair, we can still forward fold. So again, changing the position of our body, massaging the internal organs. You can slide those hands down. You can go all the way to your toes if you want to, but you can also just rest your forearms on your legs and just drop your body forward. Feel the stretch in your low back, your mid back, your shoulders, your neck. Breathe into it and exhale. And let your body go a little further. Next inhale, come up. And know too, through all of this and any yoga, you're also giving your vestibular system a nice workout, changing the position of your head. All of this helps to strengthen and support your nervous system to help in the calm and the relaxation, getting out of that fight or flight mode, which most of us are in these days. It's just a constant. Again, leaning forward onto your thighs. Just relax down, feel the stretch all the way down to your tailbone. Massage that belly. Maybe a few breaths here. Pet your cat as they walk by. And inhale back up. Beautiful. Hello. My friend Zoe has joined us. All right. So I don't know if I can ask, does everybody have a tennis ball or a ball of some sort? Can somebody, I don't know if you guys can unmute for, oh, you probably can as you're doing yoga. I'm sorry, you guys, never mind. I'll go through it. I know Nancy has a ball, so we'll go through it. And if you want to just watch and relax, that's fine. If you don't have a ball, I apologize for not forewarning everybody before today. So, okay, so we're going to stand for a few minutes, and actually, you can participate in this part because we're going to do tree, which is a balance pose. Always a good thing to be practicing balance. And the work with this ball is interesting. When you get a chance, if you don't have one, oh, now the cat's going to play with the ball. Since when does my cat play with a ball? I'm sorry. Yeah, welcome to my world. Okay, so we're gonna do tree. So you're gonna, let's start with the right foot. The light is getting dimmer, isn't it? And put all your weight into, the majority of your weight over into your right foot. If you need, I have an extra chair here. If you need something to hold on to, please do. And with tree, if you've ever experienced it before, you're gonna bring your foot, some people bring it all the way up. I can't do that right now. You can bring it to your calf. You can bring it to your thigh, but please do not bring it to your knee. You never want to be putting pressure on your knee. What I like to do to start out with is solid on your right foot. Bring that left foot up, just leaning the heel, my toes are on the ground, against my ankle. Check your balance. Hands on hips or hands in front of you. Maybe hands overhead. Whatever position of tree you're comfortable in, feel your balance for today. Breathing. And then let that one go. Okay, centering your weight over your left foot. And again, if you need to hold on, I'm going to just go ahead and rest my toe on the ground and my heel on my ankle. You can bring it wherever you need and see where your balance is on this side. It's always different on each side, and every day it's different. Okay, now I'm going to go gather the ball that got rolled across the room. And we're going to take the ball under our feet. You might need to hold on to something. I'm going to. And you're going to roll it back and forth on the arch of your foot, like across your hand here, kind of like a windshield wiper with the heel on the ground. Back and forth with some pressure, so you're giving some massage to that foot, stimulating the fascia, stretching the fascia. Back and forth. Then roll it up to what we might consider the knuckles of your toes. Back and forth, again, windshield wiper. Good. Okay, then you're going to roll it back to your heel. And as the teacher that was going over this with me talked about, imagine wearing stilettos or having a spike that you're driving through the ball. So you're shoving your heel into the ball. Just push down and really feel that pressure. And then pretend like you're trying to rub gum off your shoe. So you're kind of rolling it back and forth on your heel. Hopefully your ball hasn't like rolled and gone across the room. Like that. Then you're going to take the ball from your heel and roll it up to your pinky toe, and then back down to your heel, up to the next toe, heel, middle toe, heel, second toe, heel, first toe. All right, then you're going to grab that ball with your toes. So grab with your toes and pop them out. Grab, pop, grab, pop. One more. Pop. Good. All right, other foot. Same thing. Rock it back and forth at the arch of your foot. Back and forth, kind of like the center of your hand. Then move it up to the knuckles of your toes. Good. Take it back to your heel. Shove that spike into the ball. Oh gosh. Don't fall off your stilettos. Press. And then try and rub that gum off the heel of your shoe. I just fell off my stilettos. I'm not supposed to wear those high heels. All right, from your heel to your pinky toe. Heel to the second or whatever. What is that there? Fourth toe? Middle toe. Second toe. And your big toe. Okay, then grab that ball with your toes and pop them out. Grab it, pop. Grab, pop. One more. Pop. Good. All right, set that ball aside, give it back to the cat or the dog. Nancy's dog, maybe. Gonna get that clean ball dirty. And we're gonna go back and test the balance, see if there's any difference. So maybe right foot, nice and solid in your right leg, all the way up, nice tall spine. However you originally did your tree. Any difference? Huh. Then the other side, same thing. Oh, that's much more steady for me. Cool. And relax down. Good. So maybe you saw a difference, maybe you didn't. Same with the foot slide that we did earlier. But again, it's amazing when you work with your feet and the fascia and how that just all affects your whole body. We're going to go back to our seat. All right. Now, what I would like you to do at this point, we're going to kind of wind it down. We're just about done. So I want you to be comfortable in your chair. For me, I'm going to put a blanket behind me because I want you to lean back comfortably in that chair so you can relax. If you do enjoy doing the last part of your practice supine or you guys are all OT, so I can say supine, on your back on the floor, please get yourself comfortable there. That's absolutely fine, either way. So find yourself a comfortable seat with some support. Or on the mat. Make sure you're as comfortable as you can be without any kind of discomfort. And if you're seated, your feet are solid on the ground. I'd like you to try a mudra where you take your thumbs and you wrap them inside your palms and wrap your fingers around your thumbs. This is a mudra that is to help with grounding, stress reduction, anxiety. Just really, again, if you feel it like this, it's a lot like, again, pressing your feet into the ground, really sensing your body. You get a lot more input. The other thing that many of you may know that is helpful is to take your first finger and your thumb and touch each finger and give that input. That's a really good stress reducer, bringing people back into their bodies. That's another way of doing that. If you want to try this mudra, and what I tend to do is hold it for a little while and then I let it go. So it's up to you. If you want to try that for a little bit, resting on your thighs, and then just relax into your seat. If you're comfortable closing your eyes, that's beautiful. If you're not, you can just do a nice soft gaze, kind of down toward the ground, just letting things go, and begin by coming back to your breath, just your natural breath. Where is it now? How does it feel now compared to when you started? Is it slow? Is it smooth? Maybe it's short. Maybe it's still constricted. Hopefully with your movement, you're feeling a little bit more openness in your lungs. And now somebody's calling me on my phone. All right. Moving back into your body, let's go to your feet. Feel your feet on the ground. Feel the earth beneath the soles of your feet. Toes, the tops of your feet. Sense your ankles. Notice your lower legs. Your knees. Feel your thighs against the chair or against the floor. Your hands resting on the tops of your thighs if you're in a seat. Your sit bones on the chair. Your hips into your pelvis, into your sacrum. Sense your low back, your middle back, and your upper back. I'm sorry if you hear that beeping, it'll be over here in a minute. Up into your shoulders, your upper arms, down to your elbows, forearms, wrists, and hands. Sense the palms of your hands and all of your fingers. Back up your arms to your neck, your throat, the back of your head to the top of your head. Notice your forehead and the space between your eyebrows and feel that space just melt. Your temples, your eyes, your cheeks, your jaw, from the bottom of your ear to the tip of your chin. Notice where your tongue is resting in your mouth. Is it at the roof of your mouth or rested in your bottom jaw? Back to your shoulders, down both arms. Sense your strong, supportive back body and your soft, receptive front body. Feel your soft abdomen expanding with each breath and relaxing with each exhale. Feel your hips and your sit bones, thighs, both knees, your lower legs and ankles, and your feet firmly planted on the earth. Just take a moment to sense all of the sensations in your body. You gradually wiggle your toes and your fingers, maybe rotate your wrists and your ankles. You may feel like moving and stretching, and gradually open your eyes back up if they were closed. And thank yourselves for taking this time to just stop, maybe learn about a new way of doing yoga, taking care of your body, becoming more aware of your body. And thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. I would absolutely love to hear any feedback, especially around the foot slide and anything else.
Thanks, Bev. It was great. I didn't get much extra range of motion in my cervical spine, but I definitely did in my shoulders when we went to shoulders afterwards. So
good. That's cool.
And
Yep.
you know what? I was gonna say my balance got better with
Isn't that interesting?
that. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think the cervical, all of a sudden I couldn't focus on something. And so
I
so
know.
we're turning to it and that, but I could see that would be amazing to practice it again and see what kind of
Yeah,
cervical
see if-
range of motion. And
Yeah. see
and
if
when
you
you're
feel
saying
any
the
difference.
shoulders, were you talking about like elevation of the shoulders, or?
Did you have more
Nancy?
range, Nancy, like when you were reaching up?
Yeah.
absolutely, I can get up where
Okay.
I was about here before.
Okay. Interesting.
Yay.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and for me, I really felt it in my neck. I felt like it was smoother, and I definitely had
Isn't that-
more
I know.
range of motion.
It's magic to me. I did it with a class of students one time, and it was funny. One lab, they all felt it. The other lab, nobody felt it. It's like, I don't know what's up with y'all, but whatever. Excellent. Well, I really appreciate you guys joining and appreciate the feedback. I think it's intriguing to see. It's yoga itself is so powerful. I think whether you want to call it yoga, I mean, I know that can be an issue for some people, but I love the concepts behind the sensory enhanced yoga and really paying attention to being in our bodies, because that is so, as you know, if you've worked with anybody who's experienced trauma, is so, so, so important. And it's just a really beautiful way to help them out. And it feels good to me too. It's like, yes, I need to be here on the ground, because spending so much
Yeah.
time in your head, it's hard not to be on the ground.
Janet, did you have something you wanted to offer?
I agree that it really helps calm, bring that clarity that you had mentioned, Bev. These days we're always on the go. We always have that next thing that we're striving for. And this really helps you center yourself, and the postures that you offered us were easy to incorporate throughout the day. So even if you just take a minute or two to work on your breath and centering and the grounding that you explained, amazing. So I thank you very much for offering this to us to
Great. Sure.
give us more ideas to really share with others, but also really incorporate into our lives and our days.
Excellent. Thank you. You know, the other thing that's come up for me lately, because there's been a lot of push for the yoga, mindfulness, and I do a lot of this work, but is play. We just really need to get back to playing. I think that we realize with our students that that's something that's missing. They're just not going out and playing and socializing, and just, we did a thing today at school, and they were doing like perler beads and friendship bracelets, and it was so fun to see the difference in the stress level. So I think this kind of thing is wonderful. It's very calming, relaxing, brings you back to your breath and helps you calm down. But I think we also need to really be playing more.
Yeah, it's like being a bit more intentional with the things that we're doing. Have it be yoga or the play-based, sensory-based. And even if it's like how Janet said, if it's one thing, even though we were here for like about 30 minutes, but if you can choose one or two things that you really felt resonated with you and really supported you, then to keep doing that, because it does go a long way if you continuously do it.
Amen to that. As Nancy can say, going every day, I'm sure it helps to go to yoga every day.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Nancy.
Excellent. Anything else? I'm really glad you came. It's good to see everybody. At least everybody I can see on my screen. All right, we good?
We're good.
I think we're great.
All right.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you so much.
Have a great night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great
Thank
team with
you.
everybody.
Yeah, happy